So this is a walking and writing programme, and it forms the last episode of season 1 of the book show, which broadcasts on RTE Radio 1. It was also very recently broadcast on Radio National in Australia. They bought the programme and broadcast a version of it there. So the aim with this programme was to kind of go out on a high with the season. We'd done a couple of interviews with Teju Cole, who's an American writer, and Will Self, who's an English writer and a psychogeographer, so he does a lot to do with walking. So we'd done those interviews, and then we were given a broadcast date of the day before Bloomsday. So Bloomsday, for people who don't know, is a very important date in the Irish calendar. It's the day where Joyce set Ulysses. And you can't do a programme about walking without bringing in Ulysses. It's the world's most famous walking novel. So it was a great opportunity to explore that novel and use some of the content that we already had. So at the beginning of this piece, I just really wanted to entice the listener in. So I didn't want that to be through interview or through comment or opinion. And I just wanted to have a little sort of sense of something fun that the listener can cling on to. So I took a number of writers' names, and I got a man and a woman to say those names in a list. And then I cut into those lists and panned them left and right so that the listener could hear in each ear Dickens or Nabokov or various names. And it entices the listener, and it says, well, maybe I will listen to this. Maybe there's something there. I recognise a couple of those names. I want to hear what they have to say. So the book show is presented by Sinead Gleeson, and in order to get a sense of movement into this programme, it's about walking. You can't do a programme about walking without moving. So if you listen to the beginning of the programme starts out with Sinead walking. So she would read her script walking along, and I would record her, and we had to do a few takes of it, and then I'd record her feet to make sure that I have backup sounds. We also did a piece where she was walking through long grass, and luckily Sinead, trusts me, and when I take her out into a field and say this is what we're doing for the afternoon, she's really positive about it and knew that it would work very well for the piece. So it was important to get that movement into the documentary. So one of the interesting things about recording on location is that you never know what is going to happen. And with this documentary, we went to London, and it happened to be the day of a tube strike in London, which is great for a walking documentary. So not only are you there on a day where everybody is walking, but you're recording specifically on that subject. So when you're on location, you don't know what's going to happen. We took Will Self down the bank of the Thames, and there was a particular part of the Thames that had just been opened, and he had never walked that part of the Thames before.
Oh, we've been privileged with an astonishing moment. This is in terms of my personal walking history, you are present at an epical moment.
What's happened?
They have actually opened the River Walk. This is the first time I've come this way, and they've opened the River Walk.
The first time ever.
So that was a really significant point for us. It was a very exciting point in the piece where you have something really happening there and then that you couldn't set up. So one of the ideas with the book show is to take writing and make it imaginative and accessible. And one of the ways in which you can do that is using sound effects to give a sense of place or to give a sense of the writing. So throughout the whole season of the book show, all seasons of the book show, we use sound effects and music to do that, to try and lift things off the page. In this piece, it's because it's a walking pace. The music at the beginning had to be at the same beat as walking. So you can't use really fast music. If you strip out the music at the beginning and you put in a different set of music with a different beat or a rhythm, it knocks out the whole feeling of the piece. So the music, I went through a number of tracks to try and find the right one that felt like it was at the same pace as Sinead walking, and that was bedded in underneath. So I think it's a really exciting time in Ireland to be a radio producer. 10 years ago, there was nobody really working in audio independently. There was no way to make a living. And now there's glimpses of an industry here. There are some fabulous producers working, doing really fine work that stands up nationally and internationally. And you just get the sense, if you're part of the radio community here, that there is There's a lot of people around you can talk to, that you can learn from, who you can teach, and it's just a very, very exciting time in audio in Ireland. And I think it's something that is going to grow and grow, and we're going to make a name for ourselves internationally.